Okay. So good to see you all. I'm so happy you're here. And Minty has been coming up with phenomenal art. I mean, you all are so brilliantly talented when it comes to visual. It's like it's unbelievable. And I can't wait till you see that it progressively gets better. So, Minty, A, okay, and then this one. Just wait till you see this. And Minty, you really need to get into sculpting because I think you would just nail it. Minty B. I mean, this stuff is phenomenal. I wish I'm going to show my brother. I have to show my brother. Because it's so Renaissance. It's so David, as far as like sculpting. It's amazing. And you all have your strengths, and I know this is a reading tonight, but this is just such incredible work. We need to see this. So I'm gonna knock that down, and hopefully we get to see this. All right. So who's ready? Who's ready to see this? Anyone? Anyone ready at all? Watch this. Just watch this artwork. Before I get to reading Harry Potter, you see Hedwig is in the back right there, waiting patiently. But watch this. So here's Minty's first one. Hold on just a second. Let me get this in the right place. I know my big head's in the way. So this is Minty's first one, okay? Okay. It's like, wow, that's good. That's good. But watch this. Watch. I'm not kidding when I say watch. Hold on. I got to put this over here now. Oh, my God. I'm juggling. It's digital juggling. Watch this, everyone, please. I beg if you don't leave the stream yet. You don't want to hear me read, that's fine. But you got to watch this stuff. All right. Here's the second one. Phenomenal. Renaissance. Wait, it gets better. It gets better. Holy crap. Watch. Just watch. Okay. Now, you ready? Watch this. Unbelievable. I mean, it's just so... It's gorgeous. I love it. It's just gorgeous. It's so... Miss Shiro's right. She mentioned something. I forget the actual wording that she used, but it's like shape-like, like hard edges, and it's just so gorgeous. I know, Mr. Z. I'm telling you, absolute fire. I wasn't joking. It's gorgeous, and I think if... Oh, God, Minty, if you got into sculpting, I think you would be able to create, and it's not like an overnight thing, but you would be able to create just, I think, absolutely phenomenal sculptures. You'd be bringing the Renaissance back. Yeah. That's gorgeous. I definitely have to show my brother. I know it's not video game night. I'm going to be reading Harry Potter Chapter 15, but... I'm so glad. Thank you, Minty, for sending this to me because, every day I'm telling you, it's just gorgeous. You guys are good. Again, strengths, weaknesses, and it's like when it comes to that old-fashioned art, what a strength. Even when proportions are maybe off, it's still on. Al? Albert, are you here? I guess he's not. I was hoping he was back from the game. Unless it's still going. Papa Ford, I know, right? So Papa Ford, everybody, is actually my dad. Dad, isn't it amazing? Did you see them all, Dad? Hold on. Dad, I'll show you this. Hold on. So that was her first one. So they send me art, Dad, if you're still watching. They send me art. And just like you saw the fan art of me, the logo thing and all that. Well, look, so this is one of them. And then this is the second one. These are middle schoolers. This is a middle schooler. And then, lastly, middle schooler. Yeah, watch this, Dad. Look at that. That's amazing. Yeah. Papa Fort. That's my dad. Maybe I'll have him on as a guest. A guest. I'll have him a guest on the stream. I'll have to teach him how to play games. We tried doing it in the past, but it wasn't too pretty. But he didn't give it a chance. So I think he would be able to get it. Could you imagine if my father became like a Fortnite god? He went pro. Call of Duty. Diamond score. I don't even know what the hell the scores are, but I tried. Anyway, so yeah. Yeah. Keep going with this, Minty. Keep this type of art. Wait, I can't wait to see your painting when you're done. Did you finish that painting you were doing? Yeah. Fine, Minty. Go ahead. Abandon me. I should have waited until the end. Anyway, so today is chapter 15, and we're going to do a recap as usual. We will definitely be keeping those, and I will definitely be showing Al. Okay, let me get this one out again. All right, so let's go over Philosopher's Stone, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, Chapter 14, Norbert and Norbert the Norwegian Ridgeback. So basically, Hagrid houses an illegal dragon. Can't have any dragons. He had an egg. It hatches. The Three Musketeers is what I call Harry, Hermione. Wow, look at that, Minty. My father says your future looks extremely promising. Stop it right now. Thank you very much. Mr. Z, Tuesday I changed my what I'm doing. I changed my hours. Tuesday, Wednesday I read, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday is when I'm streaming. Look at my what do you call it on Twitch? Look at my schedule on Twitch. Okay, so Hagrid's got this legal dragon, right? Blah 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 blah. And then Harry, Hermione, and Ron witness this after discussing the Philosopher's Stone being protected by Fluffy, which is the three-headed hound. Malfoy finds out about the dragon, tries to stop the main three from sending the dragon back to Charlie, which is in another region. I believe Ron knows him or something like that, or something. Then Malfoy was caught by Professor McGonagall. She didn't believe a word he was saying and all that. Because, what's his name? Harry and Ron, they were using, or Harry and Hermione, one of the two. Two of the three. They were using the cloak. And then Harry and Hermione, caught by Filch, they forget the invisibility cloak. Get out right now. Get out right now. There's something wrong with him. And now he's paying the price by leaving. And there's going to be an ad in 30 seconds. Okay, so I say we get to reading, and let's do this. I believe Miro should be here. I'm surprised, what's his face? Dylan's not here. Hey, Habit. Habit, you missed, like, fantastic artwork by Minty. Crazy. You're gonna have to, once I'm done with the stream, you're gonna have to go back and rewind it and look. I'm late. I was updating my Twitch. That's okay. You did say that, you needed to. So let's go ahead and get to reading. Chapter 15. We are on the Forbidden Forest. Okay. All right. Here we go. Things could have been worse. Filch took them down to Professor McGonagall's study on the first floor, where they sat and waited without saying a word to each other. Uh-oh, is McGonagall going to believe Malfoy now? Hermione was trembling. Excuses, alibis, and wild cover-up stories chased each other around Harry's brain, each more feeble than the last. He couldn't see how they were going to get out of trouble this time. They were cornered. How could they have been so stupid as to forget the cloak? There was no reason on earth that Professor McGonagall would accept for their being out of bed and creeping around the school in the dead of night, let alone being up the tallest astronomy tower, which was out of bounds except for classes. Add Norbert and the invisibility cloak, and they might as well be packing their bags already. Had Harry thought that things couldn't have been worse, he was wrong. Okay. When Professor McGonagall appeared, she was leading Neville. Uh-oh. Harry, Neville burst out the moment he saw the other two. I was trying to find you to warn you. I heard Malfoy saying he was going to catch you. He said you had a dragon. This friggin' kid. Friggin' Neville. All right. Is everybody... I don't think everybody in here has a subscription, so you're probably going to get an ad. All right. I shall continue reading once ads are over in 1 minute or so. Stay tuned. I'm going nowhere. Okay. You got Hedwig back there. I don't know why she named him Hedwig. Those of you that could hear me, I don't know why she named him Hedwig. You'd think she would have named him something different. Sounds too much like Hagrid. You know what I mean? Meowsers, says Miro. Let's see. Let's go over to my facey bookie. Oh, look at he lost a tooth. I only have Facebook to keep up with my friends. And I've got memories on it and all that stuff, so... But nobody's there. 20 seconds. 20 seconds. All right. That was a nice quick ad. That wasn't too bad. So... Neville's letting the cat out of the bag. Oh, always got somebody talking, yapping. Okay. Is your voice okay? Yeah, my voice is fine. It's just that when you use it all day long, you tend to, like, lose your voice. You know. So, who knows? Maybe I'm getting sick. I don't know. Anyway... Neville bursts out. Neville's letting the cat out of the bag because he's talking in front of him, and he almost, like, mentioned the dragon. Harry shook his head violently to shut Neville up, but Professor McGonagall had seen. She looked more likely to breathe fire than Norbert, as she towered over the three of them. I would never have believed it of any of you. Mr. Filch says you were up the astronomy tower. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. Explain yourselves. It was the first time Hermione had ever failed to answer a teacher's question. She was staring at her slippers, as still as a statue. I think I've got a good idea of what's been going on, said Professor McGonagall. It doesn't take a genius to work it out. You fed Draco Malfoy some cock and bull story about a dragon, trying to get him out of bed and into trouble. I've already caught him. I suppose you think it's funny that Longbottom here heard the story and believed it too? That's funny. Okay, she doesn't, Harry caught Neville's eye and tried to tell him without words that this wasn't true, because Neville was looking stunned and hurt. Poor blundering Neville. Harry knew what it must have cost him to try and find them in the dark, to warn them. I'm disgusted, said Professor McGonagall. 4 students out of bed in one night. I've never heard of such a thing before. You, Miss Granger, I thought you had more sense. As for you, Mr. Potter, I thought Gryffindor meant more to you than this. All 3 of you will receive detentions. Yes, you too, Mr. Longbottom. Nothing gives you the right to walk around school at night, especially these days. It's very dangerous. And 50 points will be taken from Gryffindor. Damn. She's coming down hard. 50, gasped Harry gasped. They would lose the lead he'd won in the last Quidditch match. 50 points. Whoa, 50 points each, said Professor McGonagall, breathing heavily through her long pointed nose. Professor, please, you can't. Don't tell me what I can and can't do, Potter. Now get back to bed, all of you. I've never been more ashamed of Gryffindor students. Damn. 50 each, Habit. 50 each. That's 150 points. That's worth what, a snitch? Holy crap. Wow. 150 points lost. That put Gryffindor in last place. In one night, they'd ruin any chance Gryffindor had for the House Cup. Harry felt as though the bottom had dropped out of his stomach. How could they ever make up for this? Harry didn't sleep all night. He could hear Neville sobbing into his pillow for what seemed like hours. Harry couldn't think of anything to say to comfort him. He knew Neville, like himself, was dreading the dawn. What would happen when the rest of Gryffindor found out what they've done? At first, Gryffindor's passing the giant hourglasses that recorded the house points next day thought there'd been a mistake. How could they suddenly have 150 points fewer than yesterday? And then the story started to spread. Harry Potter, the famous Harry Potter, their hero of 2 Quidditch matches, had lost them all those points. Him and a couple of other stupid first years. From being one of the most popular and admired people at the school, Harry was suddenly the most hated. Even Ravenclaws and Hufflepuffs turned on him because everyone had been longing to see Slytherin lose the House Cup. Everywhere Harry went, people pointed and didn't trouble to lower their voices as they insulted him. Slytherins, on the other hand, clapped as he walked past them, whistling and cheering. "Thanks, Potter. We owe you one." Only Ron stood by him. "They'll all forget this in a few weeks. Fred and George have lost loads of points in all the time they've been here, and people still like them." "They've never lost 150 points in one go, though, have they?" said Harry miserably. "Well, no," Ron admitted. It was a bit late to repair the damage, but Harry swore to himself not to meddle in things that weren't his business from now on. He'd had it with sneaking around and spying. He felt so ashamed of himself that he went to Wood and offered to resign from the Quidditch team. "Resign?" Wood thundered. "What good'll that do? How are we going to get any points back if we can't win at Quidditch?" But even Quidditch had lost its fun. The rest of the team wouldn't speak to Harry during practice, and if they had to speak about him, they called him the Seeker. Dang, didn't even refer to him by name. Hermione and Neville were suffering too. They didn't have as bad a time as Harry because they weren't as well known, but nobody would speak to them either. Hermione had stopped drawing attention to herself in class, keeping her head down and working in silence. Harry was almost glad that the exams weren't far away. All the revision he had to do kept his mind off his misery. He, Ron, and Hermione kept to themselves, working late into the night trying to remember the ingredients in complicated potions, learn charms and spells off by heart, memorize the dates of magical discoveries and goblin rebellions. Then, about a week before the exams were due to start, Harry's resolution not to interfere in anything that didn't concern him was put to an unexpected test. Walking back from the library on his own one afternoon, he heard somebody whimpering from a classroom up ahead. As he drew closer, he heard Quirrell's voice. No, not again, please." It sounded as though someone was threatening him. Harry moved closer. All right, he heard Quirrell sob. Next second, Quirrell came hurrying out of the classroom, straightening his turban. He was pale and looked as though he was about to cry. He strode out of sight. Harry didn't think Quirrell had even noticed him. He waited until Quirrell's footsteps had disappeared, then peered into the classroom. It was empty, but a door stood ajar at the other end. Harry was halfway towards it before he remembered what he'd promised himself about not meddling. Looks like Harry's back at it. They never learn. All the same, he'd have gambled 12 Philosopher's Stones that Snape had just left the... Okay, all the same, he'd have gambled 12 Philosopher's Stones that Snape had just left the room, and from what Harry had just heard, Snape would be walking with a new spring in his step. Quirrell seemed to have given in at last. Harry went back to the library, where Hermione was testing Ron on astronomy. Harry told them what he'd heard. Snape's done it then, said Ron. If Quirrell's told them how to break his anti-Dark Force spell, they're still fluffy, though, said Hermione. Maybe Snape's found out how to get past them without asking Hagrid, said Ron, looking up at the thousands of books surrounding them. I bet there's a book somewhere in here telling you how to get past a giant three-headed dog. So what do we do, Harry? The light of adventure was kindling again in Ron's eyes, but Hermione answered before Harry could. Go to Dumbledore. That's what we should have done ages ago. If we try anything ourselves, we'll be thrown out for sure. But we've got no proof, said Harry. Quirrell's too scared to back us up. Snape's only got to say he doesn't know how the troll got in at Halloween and that he was nowhere near the third floor. Who do you think they'll believe, him or us? It's not exactly a secret we hate him. Dumbledore think we made it up to get him sacked. Filch wouldn't help us if his life depended on it. He's too friendly with Snape, and the more students get thrown out, the better, he'll think. And don't forget, we're not supposed to know about the stone or Fluffy. That'll take a lot of explaining. Oh, man. All right. Let's see what's happening here. Hermione looked convinced, but Ron didn't. If we just do a bit of poking around... No, said Harry flatly. We've done enough poking around. He pulled a map of Jupiter towards him and started to learn the names of its moons. The following morning, notes were delivered to Harry, Hermione, and Neville at the breakfast table. They were all the same. Your detention will take place at 11 o'clock tonight. 11 o'clock? At night? Meet Mr. Filch in the entrance hall. Professor M. McGonagall. 11 o'clock. Woo. Harry had forgotten they still had detentions to do in the future over the points they'd lost. He half expected Hermione to complain that this was a whole night of revision loss, but she didn't say a word. Like Harry, she felt they deserved what they got. At 11 o'clock that night, they said goodbye to Ron in the common room and went down to the entrance hall with Neville. Filch was already there, and so was Malfoy. Harry had also forgotten that Malfoy had got a detention too. "Follow me," said Filch, lighting a lamp and leading them outside. "I bet you'll think twice about breaking a school rule again, won't you, eh?" He continued, leering at them. "Oh, yes. Hard work and pain are the best teachers if you ask me. It's just a pity they let the old punishments die out. Hang you by your wrists from the ceiling for a few days. I've got the chains still in my office. Keep 'em well oiled in case they're ever needed. Right, off we go. And don't think of running off now. It'll be worse for you if you do." They marched across the dark grounds. Neville kept sniffing. Harry wondered what their punishment was going to be. It must be something really horrible, or Filch wouldn't be sounding so delighted. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, good. Sorry about that. Must be something really horrible, or Filch wouldn't be sounding so delighted. The moon was bright, but clouds scudding across it kept throwing them into darkness. Ahead, Harry could see the lighted windows of Hagrid's hut. Then they heard a distant shout. "Is that you, Filch? Hurry up, I want to get started." Harry's heart rose. If they were going to be working with Hagrid, it wouldn't be so bad. His relief must have showed in his face, because Filch said, "I suppose you think you'll be enjoying yourself with that oaf. Well, think again, boy. It's into the forest you're going, and I'm much mistaken if you'll come out in one piece." At this, Neville let out a little moan, and Malfoy stopped dead in his tracks. "The forest?" he repeated, and he didn't sound quite as cool as usual. "We can't go in there at night. There's all sorts of things in there. Werewolves. I heard werewolves." Neville clutched the sleeve of Harry's robe and made a choking noise. Uh-oh. "That's your lookout, isn't it?" said Filch, his voice cracking with glee. "Oh, that's your lookout, isn't it?" said Filch. "Should have thought of them werewolves before you got in trouble, shouldn't you?" Hagrid came striding towards them out of the dark, Fang at his heel. He was carrying his large crossbow, and a quiver of arrows hung over his shoulder. I'm not going to lie, but this sounds like an adventure. I mean, I would want to get in trouble. "About time," he said. "I've been waiting for you half an hour already. All right, Harry. Hermione?" I shouldn't be too friendly to them, Hagrid," said Filch coldly. "They're here to be punished after all." "That's why you're late, is it?" said Hagrid, frowning at Filch. "Been lecturing them, eh? It's not your place to do that." Oh, I love him. He's defending them. I love it. "You've done your bit. I'll take over from here." "I'll be back at dawn," said Filch, "for what's left of them," he added nastily, and he turned and started back towards the castle, his lamp bobbing away in the darkness. Malfoy now turned to Hagrid. "I'm not going into that forest," he said, and Hagrid was pleased to hear the note of panic in his voice. "Yeah, you are, if you want to stay at Hogwarts," said Hagrid fiercely. "You've done wrong, and now you've got to pay for it." But this is servant stuff. It's not for students to do. I thought we'd be writing lines or something. If my father knew I was doing this, he'd tell you that's how it is at Hogwarts," Hagrid growled. "Writing lines? What good's that to anyone? Y'all do something useful, or y'all get out. If you think your father'd rather you were expelled, then get back off to the castle and pack. Go on." Malfoy didn't move. He looked at Hagrid furiously, but then dropped his gaze. "Right then," said Hagrid. "Now listen carefully, because it's dangerous what we're going to do tonight, and I don't want no one taking risks. Follow me over here a moment." He led them to the very edge of the forest. Holding his lamp up high, he pointed down an arrow. He led them to the very edge of the forest. Holding his lamp up high, he pointed down a narrow, winding earth track that disappeared into the thick black trees. A light breeze lifted their hair as they looked into the forest. "Look there," said Hagrid. "See that stuff shining on the ground, silvery stuff? That's unicorn blood. There's a unicorn in there been hurt badly by something. This is the second time in a week. I found one dead last Wednesday. We're going to try and find the poor thing. We might have to put it out of its misery." Oh, God. And what if whatever hurt the unicorn finds us first, said Malfoy, unable to keep the fear out of his voice. "There's nothing that lives in the forest that'll hurt you if you're with me or Fang," said Hagrid. "And keep to the path. Right now, we're going to split into two parties and follow the trail in different directions. There's blood all over the place. It must have been staggering around since last night at least." I want Fang, said Malfoy quickly, looking at Fang's long teeth. All right, but I warn you, he's a coward, said Hagrid. So me, Harry, and Hermione go one way, and Draco, Neville, and Fang go the other. Oh, man, that's priceless how Malfoy just put his foot in his mouth. Now, if any of us finds the unicorn, we'll send up green sparks, right? Got your wands out and practice now. That's it. And if anyone gets in trouble, send up red sparks, and we'll come find you. So be careful. Let's go. The forest was black and silent. A little way into it, they reached a fork in the earth path, and Harry, Hermione, and Hagrid took the left path, while Malfoy, Neville, and Fang took the right. They walked in silence, their eyes on the ground. Every now and then, a ray of moonlight through the branches above lit a spot of silver-blue blood on the fallen leaves. Harry saw that Hagrid looked very worried. Could a werewolf be killing the unicorns? Harry asked. Hagrid said, not fast enough. It's not easy to catch a unicorn. They're powerful magic creatures. Oh, they're not fast enough. Okay. Could a werewolf be killing the unicorns? The werewolves are not fast enough. It's not easy to catch a unicorn. They're powerful magic creatures. I never knew one to be hurt before. They walked past a mossy tree stump. Harry could hear running water Harry could hear one running water. There must be a stream somewhere close by. There were still spots of unicorn blood here and there along the winding path. You were right, Hermione, Hagrid whispered. Don't worry, it can't have gone far if it's badly hurt, and then we'll be able to... Get behind that tree! Hagrid seized Harry and Hermione, hoisted them off the path behind a towering oak. He pulled out an arrow and fitted it to his crossbow, raising it ready to fire. The three of them listened. Something was slithering over dead leaves nearby. It sounded like a cloak trail along the ground. Hagrid was squinting up the dark path, but after a few seconds, the sound faded away. All right. It's getting real. This is getting real. I'm going to go ahead and just put that down so you guys can see more of it, you know. Okay. Oh, man. Well, I hope they save the poor unicorn. The poor unicorn. I knew it, he murmured. There's something in here that shouldn't be. A werewolf, Harry suggested? That wasn't no werewolf, and it wasn't no unicorn neither, said Hagrid grimly. Right, follow me, be careful now. They walked more slowly, ears straining for the faintest sound. Suddenly, in a clearing ahead, something definitely moved. Who's there? Hagrid called. Show yourself, I'm armed. And into the clearing came, was it a man or a horse? To the waist, a man with red hair and beard, but below that was a horse's gleaming chestnut body with a long reddish tail. Harry and Hermione's jaws dropped. Oh, it's you, Ronan, said Hagrid in relief. How are you? He walked forward and shook the centaur's hand. Good evening to you, Hagrid, said Ronan. He had a deep, sorrowful voice. Were you going to shoot me? Can't be too careful, Ronan, said Hagrid, patting his crossbow. There's something bad loose in this forest. This is Harry Potter and Hermione Granger, by the way. Students up at the school. And this is Ronan, you two. He's a centaur. We'd noticed, said Hermione faintly. Good evening, said Ronan. Students, are you? And do you learn much up at the school? A bit, said Hermione. Oh, okay. A bit, said Hermione timidly. A bit, well, that's something, Ronan sighed. He flung back his head and stared at the sky. Mars is bright tonight. I agree, Habit. Yeah, said Hagrid, glancing up too. Man. Listen, I'm glad we've run into you, Ronan, because there's a unicorn a bit hurt. You seen anything? Ronan didn't answer immediately. He stared unblinkingly upwards, then sighed again. Always the innocent... Wait, hold on. Always the innocent are the first victims, he said. So it has been for ages past. So it is now. Yeah, said Hagrid. But have you seen anything, Ronan? Anything unusual? Mars is bright tonight, Ronan repeated while Hagrid watched him impatiently. Unusually bright. Yeah, but I was meaning anything unusual a bit nearer home, said Hagrid. So, yeah, have you noticed anything strange? Yet again, Ronan took a while to answer. At last he said, the forest hides many secrets. Is this guy for real? Like, they should just take a brick and knock him over his head. Then ask him again and see if he gets it right. I'm just kidding. I shouldn't add to the story. I shouldn't add. No, don't hurt the centaur. Don't hurt him. A movement in the trees and the trees behind Ronan made Hagrid raise his bow again. But it was only a second centaur, black-haired and bodied, and wilder-looking than Ronan. "Hello, Bane," said Hagrid. "All right?" "Good evening, Hagrid. I hope you are well." "Well enough. Look, I've just been asking Ronan. You seen anything odd here lately? Only there's a unicorn been injured. Would you know anything about it?" Bane walked over to stand next to Ronan. He looked skywards. "Oh, my God. Mars is bright tonight," he said simply. "We've heard," said Hagrid grumpily. "Well, if either of you do see anything, let me know, won't you? Well, be off then." Oh, my God. This is funny. This is funny. I know. I want to read these more like skits. I just wish I knew the characters, because you never know when another person's talking, because sometimes it'll say so-and-so said after you've read it. So it's like, unless I truly knew ahead, I would be able to get in the character more. But I do like this because it's very skit-like. I could see it. It's really funny. Harry and Hermione followed him out of the clearing, staring over their shoulders at Ronan and Bane until the trees blocked their view. "Never," said Hagrid irritably, "try and get a straight answer out of a centaur. Ruddy stargazers, not interested in anything closer in the moon." And there many of them in here?" asked Hermione. "Oh, a fair few. Keep themselves to themselves mostly, but they're good enough about turning up if I ever want a word. They're deep-mind centaurs. They know things. Just don't let on much. See what I mean? It's like, okay, how does he say it? Oh, man, I would love to get into voiceover work and be in a studio, Do you think that was the centaur we heard earlier?" said Harry. "Did that sound like hoofs to you? Nah, if you ask me, that was what's been killing the unicorns. Never heard anything like it before." They walked on through the dense, dark trees. Harry kept looking nervously over his shoulder. He had the nasty feeling they were being watched. He was very glad they had Hagrid and his crossbow with them. They had just passed a bend in the path when Hermione grabbed Hagrid's arm. "Hagrid, look! Red sparks! The others are in trouble!" "You two wait here," Hagrid shouted. "Stay on the path. I'll come back for you." Yeah, you two wait here. And then you'll get in trouble, shooting up red sparks. They heard him crashing away through the undergrowth and stood looking at each other, very scared until they couldn't hear anything but the rustling of leaves around them. Man, they're having quite a night, if you ask me. "You don't think they've been hurt, do you?" whispered Hermione. "I don't care if Malfoy has, but if something's got Neville, it's our fault he's here in the first place." The minutes dragged by. Their ears seemed sharper than usual. Harry seemed to be picking up every sigh of the wind, every cracking twig. What was going on? Where were the others? At last, a great crunching noise announced Hagrid's return. Malfoy, Neville, and Fang were with him. Hagrid was fuming. Malfoy, it seemed, had sneaked up behind Neville and grabbed him for a joke. Neville had panicked and sent up the sparks. "We'll be lucky to catch anything now with the racket you two are making. Right, we're changing groups. Neville, you stay with me and Hermione. Harry, you go with Fang and this idiot." "I'm sorry," Hagrid added in a whisper to Harry, "but he'll have a hard time frightening you, and we've got to get this done." So Harry set off into the heart of the forest with Malfoy and Fang. They walked for nearly half an hour, deeper and deeper into the forest, until the path became almost impossible to follow because the trees were so thick. Harry thought the blood seemed to be getting thicker. There were splashes on the roots of a tree. As though the poor creature had been thrashing around in pain close by. Harry could see a clearing ahead through the tangled branches of an ancient oak. "Look," he murmured, holding out his arm to stop Malfoy. Something bright white was gleaming on the ground. They inched closer. It was the unicorn, all right, and it was dead. Harry had never seen anything so beautiful and sad. Its long, slender legs were stuck out at odd angles where it had fallen, and its mane was spread pearly white on the dark leaves. Harry had taken one step towards it when a slithering sound made him freeze where he stood. A bush on the edge of the clearing quivered. Then, out of the shadows, a hooded figure came crawling across the ground like some stalking beast. Harry, Malfoy, and Fang stood transfixed. The cloaked figure reached the unicorn. It lowered its head over the wound in the animal's side and began to drink its blood. Oh my God. Malfoy let out a terrible scream and bolted. So did Fang. The hooded figure raised its head and looked right at Harry. Unicorn blood was dribbling down its front. It got to its feet and came swiftly towards him. He couldn't move for fear. Then a pain pierced his head like he'd never felt before. It was as though his scar was on fire. Half blinded, he staggered backwards. He heard hooves behind him, galloping, and something jumped clean over him, charging at the figure. The pain in Harry's head was so bad he fell to his knees. See, that's the same pain he felt at the dinner, when he thought it was Snape. It took a minute or two to pass. When he looked up, the figure had gone. A centaur was standing over him. Well, finally, Ronan's good for something. Surprised he wasn't looking at the moon. Not Ronan or Bane. This one looked younger. Oh, okay, never mind. He had white blonde hair and a palomino body. Give me 1 second. I just want to look that up. I'm really curious. It's amazing. No matter how... Oh. A pale golden or tan-colored horse or pony. Okay. He was younger and he had like a pale look. Like a golden look. Pretty, actually. Here, look. Can you guys see that? I don't think you could see that, but... Yeah. It's cool. That's neat. All right, I'm going to continue. Blah 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 blah. Where was I? Oh, come on. Where was I? I guess I flipped the page. Is that what happened? Wow, I can't even remember that I flipped the page. Yes, I flipped the page. Leave me alone. Don't tease me. Thank you. Are you all right? Said the centaur, pulling Harry to his feet. Yes, thank you. What was that? The centaur didn't answer. He had astonishingly blue eyes like pale sapphires. He looked carefully at Harry, his eyes lingering on the scar which stood out, livid on Harry's forehead. You are the Potter boy, he said. You had better get back to Hagrid. The forest is not safe at this time, especially for you. Can you ride? It will be quicker this way. My name, I'm going to say Firenze, because that's how you would say that. It's Florence in Italy. So I don't know if that's how you say it. Dylan's not here to correct me. So I'm going to say Firenze because I feel like it's a very, very pretty word. And that's, again, how you say Florence in Italy. It's Firenze. So, yeah. Okay. Yes, thank you. Right. My name is Firenze, he said. He added as he lowered himself on his two front legs so that Harry could clamber onto his back. I snoozed my ad so I could keep reading. Harry's forehead, quicker this way. My name is Firenze, onto his back. There was suddenly a sound of more galloping from the other side of the clearing. Ronan and Bane came bursting through the trees, their flanks heaving and sweaty. Firenze, Bane thundered. What are you doing? You have a human on your back. Have you no shame? Are you a common mule? Do you realize who this is? Said Firenze. This is the Potter boy. The quicker he leaves the forest, the better. What have you been telling him? Growled Bane. Remember, Firenze, we are sworn not to set ourselves against the heavens. Have we not read what is to come in the movements of the planets? Ronan pawed the ground nervously. I'm sure Firenze thought he was acting for the best, he said in his gloomy voice. Bane kicked his back legs in anger. God, Bane's annoying. Look at the stars again. Nobody wants to talk to you. For the best? What has that to do with us? Centaurs are concerned with what has been foretold. It is not our business to run around like donkeys after stray humans in our forest. Firenze suddenly reared onto his hind legs in anger, so that Harry had to grab his shoulders to stay on. Do you not see that unicorn? Firenze bellowed at Bane. Do you not understand why it was killed? Or have the planets not let you in on that secret? I set myself against what is lurking in the forest, Bane, yes, with humans alongside me if I must. Ooh, I like this guy. I like Firenze. Younger and, like, really friggin', like, tough. And Firenze whisked around, with Harry clutching on as best he could. They plunged off into the trees, leaving Ronan and Bane behind them. Harry didn't have a clue what was going on. Why is Bane so angry, he asked. What was that thing you saved me from, anyway? Firenze slowed to a walk, warned Harry to keep his head bowed in case of low-hanging branches, but did not answer Harry's question. They made their way through the trees in silence for so long that Harry thought Firenze didn't want to talk to him anymore. They were passing through a particularly dense patch of trees, however, when Firenze suddenly stopped. Harry Potter, do you know what unicorn blood is used for? No, said Harry, startled by the odd question. We've only used the horn and tail hair in potions. That is because it is a monstrous thing to slay a unicorn, said Firenze. Only one who has nothing to lose, everything to gain, would commit such a crime. The blood of a unicorn will keep you alive even if you are an inch from death, but at a terrible price. You have slain something pure and defenseless to save yourself, and you will have but a half-life, a cursed life, from the moment that the blood touches your lips. Harry stared at the back of Firenze's head, which was dappled silver in the moonlight. But who'd be that desperate, he wondered aloud. If you're going to be cursed forever, death's better, isn't it? It is, Firenze agreed, unless all you need is to stay alive for long enough to drink something else, something that will bring you back to full strength and power, something that will mean you can never die. Mr. Potter, do you know what is hidden in the school at this very moment? The Philosopher's Stone, of course, the elixir of life, but I don't understand who. Can you think of nobody who has waited many years to return to power, who has clung to life, awaiting their chance? It was as though an iron fist had clenched suddenly around Harry's heart. Over the rustling of the trees, he seemed to hear once more what Hagrid had told him on the night they had met. Some say he died. Codswallop. I think that's what he said, but he's hearing in his head. Codswallop. In my opinion. Some say he died. Codswallop, in my opinion. Don't know if he had enough human left in him to die. Do you mean, Harry croaked, that was Vol? Harry, are you all right? Hermione was running towards them down the path, Hagrid puffing along behind her. Very well written. See. If you have an ad, please let me know, okay? I am almost done. I only have a page left, pretty much. I'm fine, said Harry, hardly knowing what he was saying. The unicorn's dead, Hagrid. It's in the clearing back there. This is where I leave you, Firenze murmured, as Hagrid hurried off to examine the unicorn. You are safe now. Harry slid off his back. Good luck, Harry Potter, said Firenze. The planets have been read wrongly before now, even by centaurs. I hope this is one of those times. Oh, you have an ad? Okay. I'll wait. I shall wait. No, I have an ad. I believe it or not, when you said that, an ad came on. Meowsers is right. I like this chapter. This is a good chapter. Mr. Z's growing good. I need more art. We should hold a competition. I should say what you guys should draw, and you each draw your own version, and then we can vote on it. Even though I don't really want you guys competing though, because you're all really amazing in your own way. It would be fun though. Just saying. All right. Okay. Let's do this. Good luck, Harry Potter, said Firenze. The planets have been read wrongly before now, even by centaurs. I hope this is one of those times. He turned and cantered back into the depths of the forest, leaving Harry shivering behind him. Ron had fallen asleep in the dark common room, waiting for them to return. He shouted something about Quidditch fouls when Harry roughly shook him awake. In a matter of seconds, though, he was wide-eyed as Harry began to tell him and Hermione what had happened in the forest. Harry couldn't sit down. He paced up and down in front of the fire. He was still shaking. Snape wants the stone for Voldemort, and Voldemort's waiting in the forest, and all this time we thought Snape just wanted to get rich. Stop saying the name, said Ron in a terrified whisper, as if he thought Voldemort could hear them. Harry wasn't listening. Firenze saved me, but he shouldn't have done. Bane was furious. He was talking about interfering with what the planets say is going to happen. They must show that Voldemort's coming back. Bane thinks Firenze should have let Voldemort kill me. I suppose that's written in the stars as well. Will you stop saying the name? Ron hissed. So all I've got to wait for now is Snape to steal the stone, Harry went on feverishly. Then Voldemort will be able to come and finish me off. Well, I suppose Bane will be happy. Hermione looked very frightened, but she had a word of comfort. Harry, everyone says Dumbledore's the only one you know who was ever afraid of. With Dumbledore around, you know who won't touch you. Anyway, who says the centaurs are right? It sounds like fortune-telling to me, and Professor McGonagall says that's a very imprecise branch of magic. The sky had turned light before they stopped talking. They went to bed exhausted, their throats sore. But the night's surprises weren't over. When Harry pulled back his sheets, he found his invisibility cloak folded neatly underneath them. There was a note pinned to it. Another break? Like what? Jesus. Ooh. I'll be back in the minute, guys. I shall return in 1 minute for the ads again. Holy moly. Ah. Hey, Al. Is anybody here? Oh, good. Don't go anywhere. I'm almost done. You guys want to see something? No. What is he doing? He's been anointed. Stop. Stop it. Stop. You're getting, I don't know, you're getting freaked. You need to see something whenever you can. I can show you on the stream, but Mindy's art is unbelievable. Yeah. All right, I'm back. 10 seconds. 10 seconds. I will. I think he's gonna come. They're eating right now, but he's gonna come in. Real Cole World Lover. Oh my God, who is Real Cole World Lover? I forget. Hi, Real. Good to see you. Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, you just missed my entire stream for reading the chapter in Harry Potter. Oh, it's you. What are you doing? That's Mike, guys. Real Cole World Lover. I hate that name. Yeah, it's Mike. He has the nerve to call me stupid. Okay. When Harry pulled back his sheets, he found his invisibility cloak folded neatly underneath them. There was a note pinned to it. Look what the note says, guys. Look what the note says. Look at that. It says, just in case. So nice. Okay. There is, let's see, there is some stuff to unfold here, to unpack. So, I am going to the Forbidden Forest. Okay. Harry, Hermione, and what was the other one? Neville, right? And Malfoy were all caught. Okay. Griff had a 150-point deduction from Professor M. Okay. Punishment. Go into woods with Hagrid to help a wounded unicorn. Enter centaurs. How do I not spell that right? Oh, come on. I could have sworn I spelled it that way. Didn't I spell it that way? I guess not. I could have sworn I did, though. Anyway. Enter centaurs. They read stars. Not supposed to carry humans on their backs. Firenze. Oops. Firenze is young and assists Harry before the animal attacks, because Malfoy screamed as the animal was drinking the blood from the dead unicorn. Okay. Harry gets Invis cloak back secretly. Whoa, 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 whoa. What am I typing there? What was I typing there? That was awkward. That was definitely awkward. Okay. All right. Not bad. Not bad at all. Shut up, Mito. You're not supposed to be paying attention. Have it. Mito. Oh, Jesus. Anyway. All right. I am now going to show Minty's art. I'm going to shut those off. I'm going to do this. Hey, Al. Are you ready? Are you sure? I got to do it to where, like, okay. Because this is unbelievable. All right, Al's going to come in. Guys, thank you for listening to that. I'm glad we've got the next one is chapter 16. Guys, we have 2 more chapters and we're done with book 1. I think that was fun. All right, you ready? Yeah, come in. He can come in. Say hello to everybody first. All right.
Hello.
Oh, look at
We're
these.
going.
There you go. They said to say hi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And of course we're not gonna.
Hi, Habit. Hi, Miro.
Yeah. All right. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
So we'll get a reaction shot, guys. We'll get a reaction shot. Okay, you ready? So that's one.
I saw these today.
You saw them?
I saw this. Well, I saw this one today.
Oh.
I didn't see it though. So.
No, wait, Michael. Wait. So this it only gets better.
Yeah.
So the next one.
I did not see that one.
Wait.
Oh my god.
Wait,
That
do you
looks
see-
sick.
Do you see this? All right. You ready? Yeah. Here's the last one. It's unbelievable.
Oh my gosh.
Is
Who drew those?
Minty?
Who
Minty do that. Do you see this?
I don't
She's
know.
not even here to enjoy
Oh, okay.
your reaction.
I
She's
know.
She's gonna have to go back to the filmed. Isn't that incredible?
I wish I could.
I know. I told her she needs to get into sculpting.
Yeah.
Because she's bringing back Renaissance
Yes.
shit, right? That's what it reminds me of. So anyway, everyone, it's been an absolute pleasure. Hug somebody you love. Be safe. Stop annoying people. Love you all. Goodbye. What? Oh, wait. Does that be right back? No, I won't be right back. I'm ending now. That was fun. Good job, guys. Make those art pieces and send them my way. Oh, my God. What the flip? Don't even. I'll see you on Friday when I play a new scary game. I got a new game. And it actually looks good. It was recommended. So, anyway. I didn't say anybody was particularly annoying anyway. Just saying.